But I have, you know, that is when I use that man lift, it never left my brain. From 2009 or 10, when we rented that man lift from my father-in-law's house, to all the way until I bought the man lift, I never got it out of my head of the things that I could do if I had a man lift. Never. And at $17,000 is what I pay for the man lift. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's chump change compared to what I made with it. I mean, that's actually just a small percentage of what I've actually made with it. But if I had rented one the whole time, well, Ray, the customer's going to pay for the rental. I know, they do anyway, and I get to keep all that money. I want it all. Like I said, I want it all. I want all the money. I want the rental money too. And I understand that everybody's not in the same spot as me, but don't come in my comments talking about, well, renting's a lot better option than owning. Come on, dude. That ain't, I mean, that don't even make no damn sense. Having the equipment on standby is gravy. Because if I'd have had to go rent that, I would have had to, well, by the time I go get it to the job, get used to all the little things about each piece of equipment has, you know. It's so much wasted time that it's so much time that I'm not earning a dollar that it ain't even worth it to me. I won't even do that. It's got to be a real special situation for me to rent equipment. And I have rented equipment, and I probably will again, but it's not going to be any of the basic stuff, like, you know, skid steer attachments or anything like that. Now, sometimes I might rent a skid steer attachment just to kind of see if my machine will run it. But I ain't renting nothing. I mean, I really try to stay away from the rental yards. Doesn't matter what the job, it doesn't even matter what the job's paying. I don't want to spend my time like that. I had another guy come in the comments talking about, you know, that I should be a home inspector, that he makes, you know, $2,000 a day being a home inspector. You know, that I would really, you know, that I ought to try that. So what you're suggesting is at 55 years old, me just have a total career change. When I got $200,000 worth of equipment, a shop I just built, and now I'm going to go into a whole new field. I mean, dude, that sounds ridiculous, man. Well, that you make whatever you say you make. You know, I mean, you can make whatever you want to make on YouTube. You can, you know, maybe if some of these guys that are always talking about how much money I ain't making and how much money they are making, why don't they show us some of the ways that they're making this money that I'm not making? You know, why not show a video or create a channel on showing us how glamorous it is to be a home inspector? I don't want to do that. I mean, at some point it becomes about what you want to do too. I could have a job, y'all, don't lie. I could have a job and it could pay $500,000 a year. And yeah, sure, I'm gonna jump on that job, right? I'm talking about working for the man or whatever. I'm gonna jump on that job. And I'm gonna get my pocket right. But if I'm not, if my heart's not in it, I'm not gonna be doing it for long. It doesn't matter what it pays. I mean, it matters what it pays, because that'll make me do it longer or not. But it probably will not be a career move unless I just fall in love with it. At my age, I'm not a shiny ball syndrome kind of guy. A guy can't, or guy, gal, anybody can't come and tell me, well, man, do this job, you know, become a home inspector, and you can make $400,000 a year. That doesn't mean I'm fixing to go be a home inspector because somebody came in my comments and said that. And then when people make comments like that, I don't know, the logistics of making that actually happen is really mind-blowing. I mean, it's really it's like, wow, that's a whole lot of freaking work to do. And then what do I do with all my equipment? Well, Ray, you can sell all your equipment. Dude, I ain't gonna sell all my equipment, man. The biggest difference is I like doing this. Yes, it's hot. Yes, it's work. And yes, it's physical. And yes, all those bad things, right? But there's a lot of good things about it too. The number one thing it is I'm in control of my destiny. I'm in control of my life. I'm in control of how I spend my time. And that, my young Jedis, is the most important thing ever. Ever. Nothing more important than how I spend my time. True enough, I'll spend my time, if the money's right, I'll spend my time doing some things jobs I may not really like doing. But it's probably not going to be my bread and butter, because I'm not going to be geared toward doing things I don't like to do. You know, I don't want to be a home inspector. I mean, I don't know, you know, and I don't even know where all that really comes from, you know. I don't want to be a home inspector. And I ain't saying it's a bad occupation or a good occupation, I don't know. But I'm not changing my occupation. I'm not fixing it. It would probably take me 2 years to be able to make money in a new game like that I know nothing about. You know, why would I do that? Why? I mean, why? And for somebody to come in the comments and, you know, better call Paul, I think. For Paul to come in the comments and say, you know, he seems to always come in the comments and he's always promoting, you know, doing an infomercial in my comments. You know, talking about, you know, what he does, how much money he makes, and, you know, going to his lake house and his house in the Caribbean. I mean, nobody gives none of that, dude. You know, they don't. I don't, because it doesn't affect me. And then he says to me, you know, well, I'm just trying to help you, man, with a better life. That is your determination on what a good life is. You know, I kind of like what I do, man. And I really like being in control of everything. And I really like not being, you know, I like doing what I want to do. You know, I couldn't imagine, and I'm not saying it's good or bad. I couldn't imagine me, you know, going around houses and stuff and becoming a home inspector at 55 years old. I don't think so, man. And I ain't selling no equipment. And one thing that all you young men need to do, y'all need to pick something that you like and you can live with, and y'all need to pick that and y'all need to go with that if you're going to be an entrepreneur. You don't be moving all over the place. Find something that you really like, and then stick within that, and maybe just a little bit outside of that, like, you know, doing lawn care, maybe trim a few trees in the same occupation, but not. Y'all see what I'm saying? You don't want to venture too far out, you know. Like, I don't want to be a lawn care guy during the day and a mechanic at night. Though I am a little bit, by the mere fact that I have equipment and you know, I don't want to, you know, especially if you're young, you got to pick your damn poison and you got to go with it, and you got to go hard and try to make it successful. And if it's something that you hate doing, it's probably not going to be as successful as something that you like doing. But the biggest thing is you got to stick with it until you can either count the money that you ain't making, or broaden out on the money that you are making. You know, don't think you're gonna come out here and make the kind of money that I make or other guys make that's been doing this thing for a long time. You're not. We might make it look like it's easy, but it's not. Ain't none of it easy. So we make it look easy because we've been doing it for so long. If there'd have been a YouTube video on me, you know, back when I first started this business, it would have been a riot. Y'all would have been like, "What a fucking jokester, man! What a dummy! What a, you know, he don't know anything." And you would be correct at that moment. Yeah.